What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Clash of Clubs, episode 96. I'm Dylan, alongside Mila and Grant, as always. And today, all three of our teams got victories. Well, this weekend at least. And United did that today. We'll start the show with that as United creep one step closer to UCL. We will then talk about the FA Cup final as it is now set. Chelsea beat Leeds, and City, due to some late heroics from Nico G, beat Southampton. And that's what happened this weekend. Nothing else. Absolutely nothing else happened. All right, let's kick on into it. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Clash of Clubs. I'm Dylan. They just got punched in the mouth. They didn't even know how to react.
That is one Derby Diamond.
I'm Mila. Do we want to do a little prediction? That was the last time they showed an initiative to go get a fucking player.
City still alive here. Balotelli. Aguero.
I'm Grant. They're talking a lot about you 15. How will you respond 15? We downgraded from Peppa. Do you know how absurd that is?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's match day.
Yes, it is match day. Plug. Subscribe if you aren't already and you made it this far into the video. We are at 463 subscribers as of time of recording. Thank you guys very much. It's been super cool to meet people both here in the States, but also abroad. And we were all just abroad. So this is our first podcast back. We've posted a bunch of videos from our trip, right? Is it not? Sorry.
We recorded already, bro.
We recorded. My brain is still in Mars. I was out of town this week.
Well, United didn't play.
They didn't. So I didn't have anything of good note to say, but we still have all that content. So if you missed out on that last week, go ahead and check it out. It's all good stuff. Yeah. Oh, I'm actually going to throw this up while we do the predicky counter. That's our QR code. If you want to see our socials or, our X or whatever, all that stuff, go ahead and subscribe and go on the link tree. It's easier that way. It was a good week for two people. We only did predickies for the United game. We did it late. We didn't do it in the episode last week, but we did it in our text thread. So if you want proof,
No. No one else saw that. No. That didn't happen. It didn't happen.
I have
Guys,
proof.
they're lying.
People want
They're
proof.
doctored.
It's in the text thread. I'll send them
They're
everything.
doctored.
I'll send them everything that we have ever said in that group chat.
All right, next segment. What do we got?
And anyways, me and Mila got predickies. We both took United to beat Brentford 2-1. Yeah, Mila, I think that's like two predickies in 2 straight weeks here. So a decent run from you.
Dude, the whole time I was watching with my boy at work, and like 85th minute, and he's like, they'll probably get one. I'm like, no, bro, just keep it at 2-0, right? Like, I don't want them to get the prediction.
Well, in that fashion,
what a goal!
And that's the only way that Sonny Lamans gets beat this year is if it's an absolutely world-class goal catalog for goal of the year. Like the dude's, we're going to talk about him as the United segment here. We'll talk about the game real quickly. United didn't play great. They picked up 3 points. They played good for like 15 minutes. And the rest of the game was just like kind of what we've been seeing over the last 4 or 5 weeks. And they saw the result. And ironically, they switched to a back 3, which is fantastic. Like, Grant, if you wanted to get your Amarim stuff off now, like Carrick was able to pick up a win with his formation.
Yeah. Ahmad was horrible in that game, and we all love Ahmad on this show. But yeah, he got deservingly hooked at halftime, so like I kind of understood it. Okay, Mila, maybe I'll speak for me and Dylan. But we've raved about Ahmad in the past, and yeah, that was a really disappointing performance from him. I know we're not talking about him primarily, but I mean, C.O.C, I feel like he barely really plays or gets the minutes you would think he gets, and he always seems to perform well, gets a goal. I mean, I'm very glad Arsenal didn't get him. I think he would have contributed a lot more than their primary striker signing this summer has contributed for them, but I thought he put in another good shift. And yeah, like you said, it wasn't a great performance. I thought Brentford were all over you guys for a large portion of the game, but as they say, Igor Thiago in televised games is scary. And yeah, man, he was terrible today. But yeah, Brentford created a lot of chances. I thought some of the football they were playing at times was actually really nice, but couldn't take advantage. Took a worldie to even get one past Lamans, who I thought, again, was really good. I know we're going to talk about him primarily, but at first, to me, it was just he's not Onana. He's a standard goalkeeper. Perfect. That will look phenomenal compared to what you guys have been subjected to at goalkeeper. But no, I think he's proving, especially the more the season goes on. I mean, he's a phenomenal goalkeeper. And at that age, to step in at that club and just kind of do the job he's doing under the radar, I think takes a lot. So deservingly so, we will speak on him.
Yeah, I by the time that this is out, my 5 things is out, and I hit like the main points for United, which were Mano was just incredible today. Casemiro, this is one of the best farewell tours I think I've ever seen. For him at his age to be doing what he's doing is great. And then the main guy, the guy that we're going to switch this conversation to is the goalkeeper, who, like you said, maybe at the beginning we were all like, well, it's just not Onana. Like, as long as it's not Onana, United will be able to be all right. Like, that's at least he's a safe pair of hands. He's better than that. I think that throughout the course of the season, he's kind of launched himself into a conversation here of being just a really good goalkeeper. And Belgium are going to have him potentially as their number 1 at the World Cup. Like, that's how good he's played. In a conversation with Thibaut Courtois, he could be their starting goalkeeper. Now, Mila, you've had him in your fantasy team all year. I think you were the first person to kind of identify him as just like he's better than people are kind of saying he is.
I think, I mean, just when he came in originally, it lifted up your struggling defense, whether it be injuries or just confidence. He steadied the ship a lot when he got back, or when he got here. And to me, now that you guys have a more solid defense, and he's still this shining example of what a goalkeeper needs to be for you guys, I think just prove that it wasn't a purple patch for him. This is him. He's a good goalkeeper. Like you're saying, he might even take Courtois out of his international spot, which is absurd. Courtois is one of the best goalkeepers we've seen.
Courtois out for different reasons. I think he's had falling outs with the coaches. I think if Courtois is fit, Courtois starts. But
of course, but
yeah,
but
if
the
he
fact
has
that
another ego problem,
to
yeah, no, it's probably
there,
Lamas.
to the point
yeah,
where they're
probably,
like, we're just totally fine with him being at home.
Yeah,
like
no.
with all this stuff,
They're not fighting for him, right?
No,
I see what you're
right?
saying.
Like it's not like they're like if he was shit, they would be at his doorstep being like, please, we need you at this World Cup.
Yeah,
they don't see the need to be on their hands and knees for Courtois because of Lamens,
right?
Which is a good situation to be in. He should no one player should have that much leverage over a federation.
I agree. I think he'll be. I think he'll definitely be a good goalkeeper. I'm not doubting it, but I do want to tread lightly in terms of throwing him into certain conversations, just because of the lack of games we've seen. Maybe that's more from a personal standpoint, right? We saw how unbelievable Edouard Mendy looked, and then all of a sudden just did not look like he knew how to play the position. Mind you, it's obviously a much older goalkeeper by all means, but I definitely want to see more. But everything we've seen, he's absolutely on that track.
How many modern keepers actually play at that high of a level for that long?
That's a good point.
All the guys that we talk about have been around for 10 years, I feel like. And these modern goalkeepers, they have those patches of 2 to 3 years where they look phenomenal, and then they literally fall off a cliff. So
yeah,
if he could just keep the consistency, which is kind of what I was on, is like he was there when it was bad, and he's been there when it's good. And I just want to see it next season and see if he's still, if it's a one season wonder type of thing, or if he's actually legit and he can help you guys try to fight for something.
You definitely don't need to look for goalkeeper. So
no,
that's nice, because you do need work. There's work to be done. I think that's obvious. You're going to be playing multiple games a week, but you do not have to worry about that position at all. It won't even be a thought. So given the work that you do need to do, I think that's a huge luxury to have. And again, he's so young.
Yeah, no, at his price tag, it's going to be, when we talk about like signings of the summer, he's going to have to be in that conversation. 19. So like,
and it was him or Emi Martinez. It was him or Emi Martinez,
right?
The world's best goalkeeper, as everyone likes to
at the age
of those conversations.
Look, if Emi had been good for another 3 years, like 2 years, like we could still be in the market for another goalkeeper. And that's like, you shouldn't be shopping for goalkeepers that often. I don't think
we do it every summer.
Yeah. So once you've got your goalkeeper, and at his age, like, look, he could be United's goalkeeper for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Which is great. And United, I think people forget, United lost 3 games with Bayern. They've lost only 4. They've lost 4 matches since Bayern got replaced by Lamens.
You just reminded me of Bayern, because I remember when Onana left, it was like, oh, cool, it's not Onana. And it was worse.
It was worse.
Bayern was worse. And Lamens as well with his feet. He's very sound. Doesn't really look under pressure ever. You know what I mean? Very calm on the ball. And being calm on the ball and being good on the ball are two very different things.
Yep.
But I think he's both. And again, the shot stopping. For me, the fact that he's pulling out some of these saves in a situation where it's maybe been 15, 20 minutes since he's been tested, and all of a sudden he'll just pull out a worldie. Yeah, I think that's also another impressive trait of his. But yeah, he's shown nothing but good signs. But I do kind of sit in Mila's camp if I do want to see more. Not his fault. And again, I think everything he's shown looks like a very good goalkeeper.
For me, it's just the age. Like, I would understand not getting over the hump if it was like an older goalkeeper. But to come into this United squad with the amount of change that's happened in that back line, he went from a 5-back or a 3-back to a 4-back with a new manager with a rotated center back pairing almost every game at this point. And has just been that good for this long throughout a calendar season is super impressive. Now, how does he handle multiple competitions for goalkeepers? That's not really a conversation I tend to have. And United apparently have a backup goalkeeper that's been playing really well out on loan, and he's supposed to come in and be able to at least be better than Bayern.
Carabao, yeah.
For him, I don't really see that many flaws in his game outside of he just gives up worldies. Like, maybe he's just one of those goalies where like people look at him and they're like, well, I'm just gonna rip the back of that
before. Yeah.
Yeah, like it happens. Like sometimes, I mean, that's the mark of a good goalkeeper, is if you're only getting beat by world-class shots, you live with those. Like, that's the thing, is I don't feel the need to be scared every time the ball gets peppered towards us. That the save he made on Coyote today is like one of those ones that Onana or Bayern, it's in the back of the net.
Can I say something quick since you said the name Coyote? When I was watching him near the box today, it looked like Madueke on the ball.
Dude,
did either of you get
good.
that? No, for sure. But like, he almost looked like at times he was tripping over himself, or I think I said it earlier, he was dribbling in 2x speed, where he wasn't 100% sure. It kind of looked like one of the AT-ATs in Star Wars. Yeah, great player, but around the edge of the box, not.
He kind of has that. Not gazelle isn't the right word, but he kind of looks like a giraffe when they're just learning.
Late growth spurt.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, well, you're a really good athlete, but sometimes the technical portions of the game come a little.
Yeah, he's sound.
I'm a big fan of him, though. I think Brentford has been as good as they've been because of him. And honestly, they deserve
be playing for Italy. He should be
playing for Italy. Why isn't he playing for Italy? Deeper rooted issues there in Italy.
No comment.
Yeah, let's end that conversation here. We don't need to spend a ton of time on United. They're one step closer. He's been a big reason why. If you want to hear my thoughts, my 5 things video is out. So let's move on to the FA Cup with Manchester City. And the 2 things that Mila, you immediately said were there were people that were ready and there were people that were like just weren't ready. And let's start with the people that were. And I think that in this City side and in City sides of the past, the one thing that continues to show up is when you guys are doing these deep runs, there's an 11 that plays in the Premier League and they consistently see out that run. And then you ask a few guys, like a handful of guys, to lift you in other competitions. This FA Cup run has probably been no different. Do you want to go over some of those guys?
Yeah, I think the easy one to start with is Kovacic. The guy has played hardly any football this season. I think a lot of people forgot he was on the team, and he comes in and he looked like one of our best players on the day. So I thought that was really cool that someone that hasn't been around the pitch, hasn't been fit, just decided, oh, I'm just going to take my moment and play well. Where you look at some of the other guys that we'll talk about later that didn't do that, it's refreshing. It's very, it felt proper, and he just looked like a proper player again, coming on to and just filling his role and doing it beautifully with some of the touches that he had and just breaking out of the pressure. He was great. And then we talk about someone that was having a really good season in Nico G, who kind of just got forced out the squad because a Ballon d'Or winner came back. And I think that's very easy for a lot of players to just put their hands up and go, well, what can I do? And not work hard and not be ready for these moments. But Rodri goes down with a little injury. and he has to step up and fill the shoes for a Wembley game to take us to a final. And hearing him talk just in interviews, in the press conferences, he wants this win. He was here for our loss last year in the final. And he's one of those players that wants that get back. He wants to win this trophy for himself, for the club. And I think that just it feels very city coded. And he's the type of guy that gets it. Kova gets it. He realizes I'm not getting a lot of minutes, but when I do get minutes, I need to perform for the team. And then, yeah, I just thought they were phenomenal. Kova, well-rounded. Nico G as well, but that finish was ridiculous.
Yeah,
I mean,
Kova's
you look
just
at
that
Kova.
experienced guy.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Kova's resume. I mean, you look at Kova's resume, you look where he's played. It's like, well, there's probably a reason all of these teams have employed him and relied on him in a squad. Like, talk about a reliable squad player that for a high-level European side. I feel like that's dictionary definition. Kovacic.
Yeah, he's a winner. And that's the exact reason the City signed him when they did from Chelsea, is they just knew that he wasn't ever – I don't think they ever had the idea of him being that full-on starter week in, week out. But in moments like this, where you need to give some guys some rest, you know, Bernardo Silva's been run into the ground a little bit here at the end. You need him in for the Premier League run-in. You want to win a Premier League. That's the most important trophy. Kova's a pretty good substitute. I mean, I watch United have to put in Ugarte as that replacement player in some games. It's not very good. So he's obviously a huge boost. But Nico G is the one that he's so good. And you've even mentioned him through points of the season. Like, if we're going through the sections of City season, it was like Holland. And then it was Nico G. And then he got replaced in the squad. He's got every right to just be super pissed off and being like, fuck it, I give up. Like, what am I supposed to do here? But no, in a big game, in a semifinal, he shows up and he scores just a wicked goal. Like a company Rodri-esque goal where you're just like, okay, thunder bastard. And it's impressive. I think that him and Trafford this season for me have been two players that I wasn't expecting much out of, just because I assumed that they were going to be replaced at some point. And have both really, in these games, proven their worth to City and are probably going to be, I mean, City's going to be hoping that they can keep hold of both of them. I don't know if it'll happen, but that's the whole.
I'm glad you brought up Trafford. I think we do need to talk about him a little bit too. He's been great. He's barely played at all, and when he has played, we tend to win. Yeah, all three of those guys that we've just talked about are just pure professionals when it comes down to it. And like you were saying, they're winners. They're here to win, and that's what they're doing. And I think that's what deserves the most plaudits from them. Yeah.
Ake as well.
Ake's been great. Whenever he plays, he's been fantastic. Him and Stones together is a little shaky. It's spooky, but
yeah, don't love the legs there. But
yeah.
Ainuri was also pretty solid. I mean, I feel like again he was pretty unlucky to have Nico O'Reilly just become what he's become in such a short space of time. It's hard to get that spot back in the team.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
It's just a weird spot. City always have this where by this point in the season they go through a deep run, and then you're like, how many of these guys are actually going to stay? And then this year, most of those guys, we had this conversation in the summer. Moso ended up staying. And
yes, but now it's like
now it actually might. Well, obviously
we know who's leaving already.
And Ake is probably like the guys.
I think Ake got announced too, or it's about to get announced. But Ake, Stones, and Bernardo are all at the door.
Right,
confirmed. Yeah,
but I mean, you had some pretty strong words during the match about one player in particular, and I think that's where we can change the topic to the guys that maybe weren't ready for this moment, because Southampton did have a lead in this match, and late. It took some heroics, but there were a couple guys where you got to be asking yourself, like, can they really contribute for a team that is looking to compete on all four fronts? And the guy that I think you wanted to hone in on is the guy that we've had this kind of conversation about since he was signed, which he was important, got you guys UCL, but
that's the difficult part about Marmoush is that he was so electric coming into the team, A lot of those games were at home, though. He had a record of just scoring whenever we were at home, and I think a lot of that can come down to the energy that was just pushing him forward. And now he's one of those guys where we're talking about Nico G not playing for a while after a good run of form, and then stepping in and being just doing what he needs to do. This is someone that didn't do what he needed to do on the day. And it's the same issues, which I could kind of see why someone like Pep would be wary playing in more minutes, because this offsides thing is just getting ridiculous. Like, he makes good runs and sometimes they don't get seen, but you can't be offsides for every chance that we created. Anything that went through him, it got called back because he was offside for the most part. Ake plays a great ball for him through on goal, and he stumbles on it and loses the ball, doesn't even get the shot off. And there's a couple other ones where he could have done more with it. And when you're competing with someone like Holland, that's not going to do anything for you. Julian Alvarez looked like one of the best strikers in the world. He could barely compete, but he put his head down and fucking scored goals and got assists from a position that he's not really played. So to be on the bench, sometimes pouting, like, it's just like I don't have any sympathy because he didn't come on and prove that he can compete with someone like Holland. We can have those conversations when, like, we paid the money for the guy, but if he doesn't produce, then what are we doing? And if clubs are going to come knocking and throw cash at us for him, then I think it's time to go.
Yeah, it's almost inexcusable to be. Before I throw it over to you, Grant, but to hold 70% possession in a game and to be offsides as many times as he was, that's almost inexcusable. Almost inexcusable. As a striker, you're deep. Like, for the most part, they're deep in their own box. That's some Mbappe level stuff where you're like, oh, you're really pissing me off now. Anyways, Grant.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, Mila, especially with the players we were just talking about that rose to the occasion, and again, that do what's in your control. I mean, zero sympathy is a nice way of putting it. Like, he's getting paid a lot of money to be there. You know what I mean? He got the number 7, whether or not you think that means anything, but I think that's somewhat important, or at least telling in terms of your expectations. We trust you with one of our good numbers. Yeah, to your point, Alvarez was never really playing up top. Like, they had Erling Haaland playing. So like you said, you know what you're signing up for. That guy's going to play. So even last year, I feel like he played a lot in behind him or even off the left and tucking in. Like, your competition's also Doku. It's also Semenyo. Like, really, any of those forwards are your competition. And yeah, there are opportunities to step up. And like you said, I think he hasn't taken that opportunity. I feel like this game really just shined a brighter light on it.
I'm going to pose a question because I don't think they ever sell him, but is Foden going to play another game this season?
Start or play?
No, definitely not start.
I'm just asking if he's going to play.
He'll play.
When was the last time he played in the Prem?
Last game.
Did he come on?
He usually comes on at the end of games.
Okay, so he's definitely not going to start another game. That includes the FA Cup final. I mean, like,
Cherky has to play. Cherky has to start.
They both played in the last.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not. Together. And that's the thing, is in terms of the rotation of guys that are playing in those positions, it just feels like he's a guy that's not. He hasn't been able to contribute for a few months now, where he's just not. Even when he's on, I don't really see it. And is that just for you? Is that a thing of he's a form player and he just has to be in form, or he's just? And this is the second straight year of something like this happening with Foden. So I'm curious from like a fan perspective.
It's a weird thing. I think the City fan base as a whole is
is frustrated the right word?
No, not even frustrated. It's understanding. I think a lot of people realize this isn't normal for someone to drop off that hard. So there's a lot of patience with him when it comes to this, in terms of the fan base. I don't think anyone's looking at him and saying he needs to step up. They're looking at him and saying, take your time. And when you get back to the player that you were, the best player in the Premier League, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, then like we'll be here, and that's fine. Because he's also one of those players that's not gonna make a big fuss about minutes if he's not deserving of the minutes. So in that sense, it's like he's a City guy through and through. So just give him the time that he needs. But I've heard that the contract talks have stalled, so that leaves journalists and people like us to talk about what could go for him in the future. And I think that conversation is just what's best for him, not so much what's best for the club, because he's done so much for this club. His CV is better than most players' whole careers, and he's our age. I think he's like a day older than me. So yeah, I don't think there's much frustration when it comes to him in terms of the fans. And like you were saying, the second season of this, I think there was a little glimpse of him coming back, and he got hurt again, and it kind of just went downhill again. So were they struggling physically or just mentally? Like I don't see any frustration really.
Yeah, it's eerily similar to two situations kind of mashed into one for me when it comes to Foden, and it's between Mason Mount, but the situation is different, right? In terms of it, he wasn't like a Chelsea boy through and through. There's a reason he went to United, right? And then it's got pieces of this, but this at the time of him being there, like he really was your star boy. That's what I mean by that.
Yeah, he's from the academy since he was like 8 years old. Yeah,
10, very much blue until it wasn't blue, and then it's got sprinkles of Marcus Rashford, where local kid, Manchester through and through. I don't even know if I can picture him in another kit, if that makes sense. And like Rashford, it kind of got to a boiling point where he wanted something different. And this is what I mean by situations make these conversations, because United were shit. It didn't really matter. City are good, and they're always.
I think that's the difference too, is that Rashford was a good player on a shit team.
Yeah.
Whereas
they needed him.
We're a great team, and he's the struggling player that was once great. So it's like if we have the time for him, then I think he has the time for us.
Luxury to be able to give him that time. But
and
I do.
I've talked about a lot of players that like we don't have the time to sit around and wait for you to be good.
You got the time for him.
You have to.
I think he's earned that grace. I think Mila makes a good point. People do forget, and me and you, Dylan, we love having a pop at Mila, try and get him going when we talk about Foden sometimes, but rightfully so, one player of the year, willed them to that league. And yeah, for it to be a second straight year, I know, and I hate when people start to speculate, but we do know that he did it was more of a personal matter last season or things outside of the game. So for it to carry over, again, like you said, Mila is a spectacular player to this level of drop-off. Of course, some of it's got to be physical too, like you said, injuries. But if anyone's earned the grace, especially from the City fans, it would be the local boy who, like you said, what a servant to the club. So yeah, you would like to see him at his best, even as a hater, but you want the best. You don't. Yeah, it's just you would hope that he comes back, but like you said, Mila, I think he's off season's coming up, time to sort of chill. But yeah, it's a shame.
I mean, he's working. I think a lot of the fucking issue too is just this whole England drama. Can't be good for anyone.
All the 10s have been shit, to be fair. So at least
but for even just when he was at his best, he was literally the best player in England, and then he goes into the national team and he's getting slagged off every time he touches the pitch. Like that can't be good. So the team, it's like you're playing for your country. That's your heart, and then it's toxic.
Bullshit's toxic. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why England never wins stuff. To be fair, like this is a constant conversation.
Super Tommy Tuchel, mate.
It's just a different position normally every single camp. And the last two camps for them, it's been the camp position because they've got a lot of them. And they're all like good talents. But like before that, it was wingers. And then they did that with Rashford and Sancho.
They just don't have any. They don't actually play those positions. They're all just like little like mutt positions. They don't play real. These guys play
there's not a true
10 or a winger. They just like, I'm gonna play the half space. Really?
Yeah. Are you saying death to the wing fielder, Mila? Death to the wing fielder? Morgan Rogers, Cole Palmer, pick a position.
I'm gonna say let's do this real quick. Let's let's say their best position and see how many disagreements we have with the star boys. Morgan Rogers is the first one. I think he's better off the left.
I want
He
him
isn't.
behind.
I think he's physical. I like him at the 10. I like him
all
at
up
the
to
10. And I want him,
Right,
and I
right.
want us to sign him as a left winger. I'm a fucking
Right.
dickhead.
But that's Morgan Rogers. Let's go to Jude, who I'm assuming he starts because he's Jude, and that's just kind of the way
Striker.
that.
That's his best position.
Yeah, he's almost a second striker. But I have also seen him play some decent 8.
He is the Cristiano Ronaldo of Conor Gallagher's.
Or the
I don't
10.
think I've said that on the show yet. That is Bellingham, mate.
And then there's Palmer, who I've been pretty clear. I think he's better off the right. But a lot of people
Maresca
think,
left, so we're finally going to see the real Cole Palmer, Dylan.
right. And most people would say he's best suited in the 10. And then you've got Foden, who every time he plays, I'm like, he's good in whatever. I don't know.
14.
Yeah, put him in the half spaces and let him cook. It's ridiculous. That's the conversation with England all the time. And they're gonna crash and burn. They just know it. It happens every single time.
Yeah, true.
Touche. Whatever. Do you have anything else on Manchester City and their guys that can't contribute?
It's all weird. Outside of Marmoush, I feel like the conversations are weird because Savio seems to be adored. He's adored though at the club. I don't know.
You guys could have sent
No,
him to relegation.
I think we got glimpses of what he can be, and it's Doku with a little more flair and that Brazilian swagger. Like that, in theory, that's the craziest wing pairing we've seen in a very long time. If both of those guys can get to their ceilings, but
his first game against Chelsea.
Yeah, how long can we really give him until we bid him off?
One more
year. I thought this was the year that make it or break it for me with him. And
I think they'll give him one more year if he's.
I think so too.
To be fair,
but
if another
I
team
do
comes
think
with
we're going to
an
get
offer
more
that's
competition though in that position, especially if we get rid of Marmoush, who's an option as depth there.
What about? I mean, I'm just looking at the bench because I'm thinking like Gvardiol's hurt, Rodri was hurt, and Diaz was hurt. Rico Lewis he's got to be on the bottom of the totem
chopping block. Yeah, I think.
He's not even getting minutes at this point, and
Right.
I think for his sake, he might as well just leave. He's been another one of those guys that's been great for us when we called upon him and we needed him. But for his career, like he's a young guy, he needs to go get minutes. I wouldn't see why he would stay and just be a guy off the bench unless we offer him a bigger role in the squad. But I don't see where those minutes necessarily come from.
He feels like he's 25. I didn't realize he's only 21.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the thing too, is like
really
if he wants to stay a couple more years, he could, and just finally fill into that midfield role that he's meant to play. Because I still think he's one of our best players in the tight spaces. When we need to play quick and move the ball up the pitch, he's one of, if not the best players on the pitch to do that. So there's certainly room for him. It's just, again, one of those, if he wants to stay here, if he wants to work and fight for that position, then that's what the type of player we want there. So that it really comes down to the player in that sense. I think the same with Savio. If he wants to stay and fight, his minutes aren't going to be guaranteed with someone like Semenyo in the squad and whoever else we bring into the team, whatever youth guys we bring into the team. I could see them fighting for it. I think the same goes with Reinders too. He's been okay this season. His numbers have been fairly good. The eye test is not so much there. But again, it's the final stuff with him. Guy could be looking at ridiculous numbers if he tilted his head over the ball 10 degrees. So one more year for him because he's just got here. And I think most of these guys, it's just a conversation of what they want. But Marmoush is the one that seems likely to leave for me of the ones that aren't confirmed already.
Yeah, I mean, Reinders, I know that he hasn't been the best, but you brought him in the money for him to be a squad player. Pretty good squad player.
They spent good money on him.
How much did they spend?
Like 60.
That's unfortunately in the Big
That's
Six. That's
what I'm with both of you on this one.
Like I think we're just
I
in
like
a
where
weird
you- I
spot
like how
in
you
the
said
Prem.
that.
Like
I agree with
Wow.
both of you. It's a little ridiculous to say that he's a squad player for that much.
Yeah,
but
whose
that's
fault
the
is
reality.
that? I
it's
can't
the
believe this happens now. This is the
No,
worst.
yeah, I know.
Inflated
Yeah,
transfer fees to whoever
To be
caused
fair,
that.
though, it's not inflated. He was the Italian
No, I know.
midfielder of the year. Like
He was phenomenal, and he's in his prime, age-wise.
Yeah.
this just tells me all I need to know about Italy. Every single time I need confirmation about my thoughts on the Serie A, I get it.
Defenders
Not
are
a
good.
good, just
Look
not
at
my
look
favorite.
at what one of the best midfielders in the Bundesliga did this season. He's got less numbers than Phil Foden.
Oh,
So
you know what? The best indictment on Serie A. You know who's in the Golden Boot race? Danielle Malin.
Yeah, and he came in
He
like
went
half
over on
the-
loan late
Very
January,
fair.
and now he's just playing up top for Roma, just bags every week. Like it's
I'm pretty
that's
sure
the biggest. And I like Danielle Malin, but like, come on, that's crazy. Halfway into the season, he just pulls up and he's going to win a Golden Boot or be in the
Yeah.
conversation. Come on,
we're going too far off the trails of
Yeah.
Serie A talk. I don't
let's
like
get
it.
angry.
I don't. I guess it's anger, but Chelsea are also in a final. And in terms of salvaging something from the season, this is the whole reason that you sacked Rosenior.
Liam 22.
Was to get this result and put yourself in a position to win a trophy. But I think that even with McFarlane now, you got to ask the question of, can you salvage anything outside of that? Because look, if you go into City are going to be the betting favorite. They just are. So obviously anything can happen in a final. We've seen that the last two finals with United and Palace, but kind of different stakes, I feel like. And for Chelsea, is there any redeeming qualities that are left for you to feel like there's something to salvage here outside of just winning that trophy?
No, I mean it's part of the club's DNA, right? The thing getting ripped away by the ownership is, they win. So I think that's going to mean a lot. And I mean, we saw the players. It is very disappointing because I think that display made it very clear they did not give a shit at the end of the Rosenior tenure. I think that was the most obvious evidence you could see. But only looking forward, I mean, it was great to see our captain step up and take the initiative even before the goal. He was playing as the 10, but constantly dropping deeper to come pick the ball up, spray it, drive with it himself. I mean, I thought he put on a really good performance in that game. So love to see that. I cannot believe we kept a clean sheet. Forgot what that felt like. And with Tosin and Chalobah, nonetheless, I still think they were, they did their job in terms of the duels, especially aerials. Tosin was actually winning them. But even for that Aronson chance, Chalobah gets the ball in the middle and just makes a pass across after getting lucky enough to not lose the ball, just gives the ball away. And then Tosin over lunges and just completely misses it. And then he's in on goal. So they're still very capable of just calamity in the back. So anytime, I mean, I've said it for months, I'll look at the back line and I will not be confident in our game. Garnacho gets worse every game. I mean, not even losing the ball every time, like going at your man, like literally just losing the ball. As soon as it goes to him, the ball, we lose possession of the ball. Neto wasn't too bad. I thought João Pedro was really good. We played long a lot, and his back to goal play I thought was really good. I think his strength is something that's very underrated in his game. Unlucky to not leave with a goal, but first game back coming from a minor injury, I thought it was a really good performance. So, yeah, I mean, Lavia, Caicedo did their thing. You would expect that from the expenditure in our midfield, but they did all play really well. We really just reverted to Maresca ball, if I'm honest. I mean, that's what it looked like to me in terms of the shape, how we were trying to play. Second half was more of a shutting up shop. Weren't as adventurous, but you get the win. You're in a cup final. Last time we beat City was in a cup final 5 years ago. So that's my only cope in terms of positivity. Maybe we can only beat them in cup finals now. But yeah, if you look at it on paper, game's not played on paper, but I do not think there is a very high % chance that we come away with that trophy.
Yeah, it was one of the games of all time, to your point. Like, you guys got the result similar to how we were talking with United in the beginning, and you put yourself in a position to do something that is salvageable for the season. Because if you do come away with the FA Cup, you get Europa League at the very least, right? Like, UCL is not out of the cards, but for the project and for what you guys need, you guys spend a lot of money, and that's still Europa League. While it is the second-rate competition, it's still a draw. You still can get players to sign up with the idea of we're going to be in Europa, and it's better than not having. Look, I've been here all year.
I don't
like,
care
better
about
than
the
not having
signings.
midweek.
They won't do anything anyways. We had UCL and world champ status, and we signed fucking nobody. So I don't even think about it from that
that's fair.
perspective. But we need the game time. It's a big squad, no matter
Exactly.
how you want to put it. You can't just have one game a week and then all those bums just sitting there on relatively high wages. It'd be hard to get rid of them. But yeah, that's again, I have no confidence just because I've seen this group of individuals not make the right decisions in terms of the squad building. So I can't expect the right guys to get sold and the right guys to come in, the right coach to come in. You get briefs talking about they're trying to narrow down and confirm the style of football they want to be played. So you're just spending money the whole time just with, I hope he works in one system and not the like. What the fuck are we doing? Like, you're trying to put out briefs to like put out the fire, and I think I said it before. You're putting oxygen into the fire. Like, you just make yourselves look dumber and dumber every day. So anytime I try to get optimistic, I just get reminded of who's in charge, and it's really hard to put any faith there. But again, cup final. I always talk about Enzo, how Chelsea coded he is, right? How much he loves the club. He can show it one more time. So hopefully Reece James is back. I'm seeing even Colwell might be back. I think that's a pretty crazy game to throw him into. But yeah, I maybe if Reece James is captaining us, you got Caicedo, Lavia, Enzo. Palmer's looked awful. He has not gotten any better. In fact, it might have gotten worse, some of his performances, and he's meant to be more fit. I'm not going to throw away my tools and say we need to get rid of him by no means, but yeah, I'm not going to expect him to do too much the rest of the season. He might not even get the call for England. He probably does, but on form, he definitely hasn't earned that. And that's a damning statement because I rate him very highly. I expect a lot from him, and I have no expectation from him. And do not ask me if I expect anything from the rest of our attack, bar Joao Pedro, because also horrific.
Yeah, Mila, from your perspective as the team on the other side of this coin, is there anything salvageable for Chelsea at this point with 5 games remaining?
I mean, it's a one-off game. I think they can always come out winners in this. Pep didn't beat McFarlane.
That's right.
No, he didn't.
So that you can look at that one of two ways, and that Pep didn't beat him.
Angry.
Or Pep's angry and didn't beat this guy. So
just gonna dunk it on him.
I personally believe it'll be the second one, and that Pep is annoyed that he didn't beat this guy the first time. He couldn't get
without a license.
Mm-hmm. And that he's gonna have to show there's levels. But then again, it comes down to the players on the pitch.
Overthink.
I think my team is in a good place to go and win a title, go and add another one, especially in a season where everyone's been doubting us. So I do think it'll be very difficult for Chelsea to go and snatch that from them. But like we've been talking about the past couple of weeks, footy is footy. Anything is possible.
Yeah. I'm not going to put money on Chelsea. I'll be rooting for Chelsea. So I'll be on your side, Grant. But
again,
yeah,
mind you, I think
that's not a good charm for you. That's a bad luck charm.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, like I said though, I do think the players were downing tools under a senior, which is really shameful in my opinion. But yeah, it's harder to take anything from some of those games. But from the game we were at, to me, City really were only playing for like 10 minutes to start the second half. They were just like, okay, we need to like stop dicking around here, and then boom, they scored. I don't even think they scored all 3 in that span, but they didn't even need to be locked in after they kind of turned it up for literally 10 minutes. So that gulf in quality, maybe we can galvanize the troops. Maybe McFarlane's got that dog in him we don't know about, but I do think it will take a miracle. But cup final is a cup final. Anything can happen. I just will not expect it to happen.
Yeah. I think for the salvaging portions, when you were talking about Colwell, if he plays this season, I think that is not a very good idea.
He's been
points.
playing for the U21s. He's been playing
Yeah,
for the
let him
U21s.
continue to play that. Let him
Agreed.
build his. I mean,
Agreed.
that's a serious injury he had, and to put him back.
Fuck, we
into,
really need Conference League this year. Like, yeah, no.
yeah,
Good.
it's a 10-point gap to UCL. Like,
Our
let the
U21
team
defenders are probably better than our senior defenders, so it's probably going to be a more difficult job to
die on your sword at this point. Like, you decided not to go into the season with another center back. Die on your sword there. This is where you have to. And then you said Palmer. Like, I know it's not expected, but if there was one thing that Chelsea should do, is just figure out how to get him back into form, whether that's trying different things or forcing the play to him. Like, your attackers are not good enough to be
it's
not
a tough
trying
equation. It's a tough equation because the more I think about it, like 2 of the midfield 3, if everyone's in their preferred positions, are Enzo Fernandez, Cole Palmer. You're asking Moises Caicedo to do a lot of work to make up for that lack of physicality. And mind you, Enzo runs his ass off, but he's clearly not the most athletic or gifted player in that front. So that in itself is a conundrum because Enzo wears the armband quite a bit, and I think he's been very good for us. And then Palmer, obviously, we've seen what he's capable of, so it's a bit of an issue there. How do you sort that balance?
Play him on the wing.
Dylan has been harping on this for a while, and I think this is one of the main issues with Chelsea. We've talked about it. I think I talked about it with Grant the most, just personally. Is that Enzo's good, but I don't see where he fits in this squad without displacing someone. Yeah. So if this is the issue, then like Dylan's saying, just play him on the wing. And
I agree. I agree. I think the best possible 11, you have a midfield 3 of Enzo, Caicedo, Lavia. You can throw Palmer on the right. Give me Steve on the left. You know what I mean? Cool.
Look, even if it's not Lavia and it's Santos, like I still think that putting Garnacho into matches at this point, we've all seen it. He's
torture.
Awful. So why continue to play around with that? Like I get he was.
I miss Sancho. I miss Sancho. Like this is insane.
Like you've they made a deal to bring him in. They're already looking to move him off. There's no point in continuing to play with Garnacho. So don't, and just let Palmer build form as a winger. I just think that's where he's best suited. But even if he's not, like allowing him to build some confidence, because that's the one thing that looks off to me. He just doesn't look like he's playing with much confidence.
To me, that's the big difference. He'll always end up in the same areas, no matter what position he's playing. He'll end up in the same spaces. But we're talking about it in the Chelsea United game where no one wanted to show for the ball. You would think that's the type of player that wants to show for the ball, but he'll get crowded out in the middle, and then really he's taken out of games. Versus it's a lot easier to get on the ball out wide. The only issue, again, if you just think of the squad, Reece James should be starting. I don't love him running up and down for 90 minutes, providing the width for him. So there's another sort of little issue within the squad that has been carefully constructed with over 1.5 billion Great British pounds. But yeah, there's a lot of issues that need to be addressed beyond the good players that are currently in. Unfortunately, there's just so much more to think about before even actually addressing this. So real fucking disaster, but cup final. Come on.
There's a chance at a trophy. And if there's one thing I've learned over the stretch of United periods, you take those. You take your chance at a trophy.
Gave fucking Tottenham one.
I don't care. They're going to get relegated. It's always the other side of the coin. It's always the other side of the coin. We didn't deserve to be there. We got in out of a jammy FA Cup. And we're not going to get relegated.
That's why we were in Conference League. You know what? You gave us the gift of the Conference League, Dylan. So I should honestly thank you. What a fucking great time that was.
That's what I'm saying. Everyone should thank United. That's where I'm at.
No,
they really shouldn't. And I also want to say a big FUCK to the schedule makers for making games on Mondays 6 times this year. Like I get we were shit last year,
it happened
6
to us
times
when we were in Europe. Anytime like one of the good teams is in Europe, they're like, yeah, fuck it, Monday night. Gosh, it's terrible. It's so much more difficult to watch at my desk. I just can't. I can't watch like full time. It's just like. Anyways, change it.
Alrighty, it is getting to that point of the show where we're going to extra time. I was trying to like delay it in theory to make it seem cooler, and then I lost the gong button and I didn't know.
I had it. I was waiting for a cue. Yeah.
Double gong would have went crazy.
we can still, I honestly, at some point during this conversation, we'll just drop it.
Oh, you
Just a
can't get
random
me.
boy.
The soundboard always gets me, bro.
But with the extra time in
Do
this one, we
yours.
started with United. We're going to finish with United. We're doing a United sandwich. And
shit.
it's the biggest
Here we
game.
go again.
Oh, good one. I hope that we beat them again. This is really what this is. It's United win, and they're in UCL. No more poetic way to do it than to do it against Liverpool at home. That would be fucking awesome. And do the double on them in the same season? That would be awesome.
Done that?
I don't know. Well, it's been many, many years because we just beat them at Anfield for the first time in, 15?
Harold.
Something like that.
Yeah, we
Long
got to get
time.
Thomas's
Double
prediction.
on
I'll
them
reach out.
Would be very
We'll get
funny,
Thomas's.
especially since they are the defending champions.
The defending champions of the world. Yes. What losers? I will say that every time we talk about them for the rest of the year. Even if they go on to potentially beat us in this next one, they're still losers. They
Isak
deserve
scored.
nothing. That's great. Loser. They're all losers.
If they beat you by 1 goal deficit, they don't even overtake you. So, oh no, they
Yeah.
would. They would actually. I think they would.
Sorry.
Yeah, because it would flop. Look, it really, if they lose, it really doesn't matter. United were aiming to get top 4 this year, or Champions League, and the team that
They're
won
sorted.
spent $1 billion cajillion dollars and are gonna be scrapping it out still. Like,
Ooh.
look, they're probably gonna get Champions League too. I think they've played better over the stretch.
Nah.
And look, they have, and
Nah.
Wirtz scored
Who's
a goal,
taking the
so
spot?
like, it's time to put him back in the conversations of was he a good signing? The answer is no. He's been poor.
Nice goal though.
It was a nice goal. I can sit here and admit that, but
I hope he
still-
plays well for the national team.
There's a lot of swinging going along. Like
Let's-
they play Villa, they play Chelsea, they play United. This is,
We play
That's-
Liverpool,
and Brentford.
I believe so.
Yeah, you play him just before the FA Cup final.
dude. That'll be such a fucking disgusting
4:30
game to
a.m.
watch. Of course, that's gonna be such a horrible game to watch. Like, just both teams are just so comically bad to me. Like, they're just equally terrible. So we'll see how that looks.
Let's start with Liverpool. Like I said, they've picked up form since getting knocked out. I don't really know why,
One game a week.
but like, is it just down to that, or is like I feel like there's been
No,
some
it's just down
individuals
to that. That's the only reason you guys are good this year.
Since getting knocked out, they've played 2 games against Everton and Crystal Palace. I think we need to
I mean,
calm down a
Everton's
little
tough
bit.
game, let's emphasize. Yeah, I guess that's fair. They still have leaked goals, and like against Palace, I think they lost the XG battle. Could be wrong. Palace were in it. Look, like Liverpool don't scare me. They don't.
No,
No,
I know.
That's
I
the
think
United
we're in
are-
agreement on that. I'm saying their pickup of form is not that convincing to me.
True. I mean, look,
Right.
this
We
is gonna
disagreed
be-
on why they're not good. That's all. That
Yeah.
was.
But to be fair, like United aren't like the best team in the world. So this will be,
No.
I think this is going to be a really good game. I think both teams kind of want to play open. They both kind of like to play in chaos. It's going to come down to who's more clinical at the end of it. This season, that's been United, weirdly enough.
Yeah.
And we have Bruno Fernandes. that's pretty much my argument in every game. Is it's just like we have Bruno. He's 1 assist shy. You think he wouldn't want to try to tie and break it against Liverpool? Like, there's just a bunch of really good storylines here for United. And I don't think there's that many good storylines for Liverpool outside of they did the thing that they should have done this season.
Yeah, no, their best case scenario for this season is still falling way below expectations from the start. Like you said, the adjusted goal was just to make sure you qualify for the Champions League, but the fact that that's the only conversation they're in, I'm sure, is a huge disappointment to Liverpool fans. I think another disappointment would be that Slot looks like he's still going to be in the job. I'm honestly shocked by that. I know they're not the type of club to sack managers left and right, but at least, wait till the end of the season and then boom, let him go. Xabi Alonso's available. It just, to me, that was always going to happen. But it looks like he's staying. So I have no clue how that's going to look long term. But yeah, even in the short term, not that convincing.
No, they're not. And that's, but United aren't that convincing either. They just have been clinical down the stretch and have played one time a week. So it'll be a banger. I fully expect this to be a goal fest. Like when we do our
Yes,
predictions.
game should be good. Well, maybe
should be
not,
good.
but it'll definitely be chance fest. How fucking terrible does that sound?
Yes.
But like, you know what I mean? I can't guarantee either of these teams will be able to put away their chances, but yeah, I think it'll be wide open. It'll definitely be fun to watch.
Yeah. I
It'll
did
now-
research
as I
here.
said that.
That last time United have done the double, it was 13-14. So United have the chance to do the double.
Hundreds of years ago? Oh, you're muted, Mila, but I think we made the same joke.
Yeah.
That's a long time ago.
2014. It is a long time ago.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
the
yeah,
it's like those
Premier
meme
League back
videos.
then.
It's like those
Yeah.
meme videos where it's like, what year were you born? And then they're like 2000.
Yeah.
Fine, and it's like 19, and then it's like, boom.
Oh, that's you. That is you.
Yeah, it literally is me. It's Unk.
Have that.
It's Unk Sesh.
No.
I feel decent about United's chances. That's
Yeah.
Look,
I would
we
too.
know what United are going to do in this one. Dorgu didn't play in this game. I assume that he's fit. It sounds like Cunha should be fit for this one. I assume he starts. Obviously, Ahmed was not very good.
Yeah, no. Depends.
Um,
maybe if Cunha's not 100% or you don't want to take any chances, the Dorgu for playing up to an hour, bring Cunha on. I feel you did it against Arsenal, right? You know, maybe that's the big game recipe. Bring Cunha on against tired legs and let him cook. So I think you'll be sorted there. And then I mean, I don't think Salah is going to play. He got hurt, and that might have been his last game. But
crazy.
yeah, is Isak going to really get his game off against? Maguire. I think
In heaven.
to be able to have it right, like he's just coming back to fitness. I don't think it'll be an easy day at the office for him. Gakpo. You know what I mean? Like it's we're good.
One guy and it's Soboslai, especially with the goal catalog we were talking about with Lemon. You can see it's Soboslai.
Don't give away a free kick 30 yards out.
He scored.
Don't do
Look,
it.
if it happens, he's scoring, and I've accepted that. But that's what's going to happen.
They should start Rio. Rio should start, but yeah, it'll probably be good.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, against Dallo, I would take my chances.
Oh, I'd take your chances against Dallo.
Fair enough. Wouldn't be very good.
You're like,
yeah, I just don't like. I think if we were to go through like a combined 11, is it majority United for the first time in a long time? I mean, let's just do it really quickly. In net, it's Lamens because they're playing.
If we're talking fit players, yes.
Yeah, I would take Allison.
But he hasn't been fit, and he's not playing. And he's
Didn't
out
they
for
just play like a third string goalkeeper.
Yeah, Freddie Woodman. Yeah, I'd take Freddie Woodman. Yeah.
So I mean, the guy that we talked about the stuff, he's there, right back.
They literally don't have a right back.
They don't have a right back. Yeah. And then in the middle of the park, I'd probably go with Maguire and Van Dijk.
Hell yeah. Left
back, Luke Shaw's been better than their left backs. And he's played every single Premier League game.
Yeah,
he started every single Premier League game. Yeah. That's that World Cup tax. He always comes
in.
Midfielders, Casemiro
he's been better than Gravenberch. McAllister's been horrific. Give me
Main's been better than him. But I would probably chuck Soboslai and
you know what? Get Dallo the fuck out of my team. We'll put Soboslai at right back, and
I like
just take United's midfield.
Okay, that works for me. And then up top, Sesko's been better than the strikers.
Oh, Ekatike just got hurt. Unlucky. Because I would have had him.
I mean, I think he's got the same amount of goals in the Prem as him. Though.
Yeah, it is mainly United.
And then
left wing is.
And right wing, it's not. Like Mbumo's been poor, and he's still got better output.
Fair.
It's for the first time in I can't remember how long.
Respect.
Come on. I love it. Let's do our predictions and let's get out of here in just about an hour.
4-2 United.
I like it. Like it, and I'm gonna tail it. I'm going 4-2 United. Bruno, man of the match. He breaks the record in it.
Yeah, fuck it. We'll go Bruno too. If we predict we predict together.
I'm gonna go 2-1. Casemiro.
Uncle Cass.
We're gonna repeat today's.
And with that in mind, we're totally dropping points. We all picked United to win a game with UCL on the line. That's probably not a good omen. Let's round out the Monday night games. Congratulations, you guys made it to Monday night. Chelsea play Brentford?
No, Nottingham Forest.
Close enough.
Wait, Bucks play Monday? That's
yeah,
absurd.
you
Oh
guys.
yeah, we play Monday at 7 a.m. our time.
And then you guys play
That's
Everton.
wild.
They've
12?
never done that, bro. What are they doing?
I have no idea what's going on.
What,
I have
what
no.
are we doing?
Oh, is it because they play? Do they play Europa?
Also, you can't have games like 48 hours or some shit. No, that would
Yeah.
make sense. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
I don't
Monday. Yeah,
understand
no, it's
I
bullshit.
don't understand it. Maybe
But
there's just
sure,
being
why
nice.
not?
You got a prediction for this one?
Chelsea Nottingham.
Mm-hmm.
2-2.
Is it at the Bridge?
Yeah.
Yes.
That doesn't help.
It doesn't.
That's Stamford Bridge. Poof.
I'm gonna go 2-1 Forest because relegation's important, and I think they're
Yeah,
gonna take.
I'm going
that.
2-2. Still.
I'm gonna take Morgan Gibbs White. He's been really good. I think he's got the most goals as a midfielder this season. Very impressive.
I think I'm gonna tail you on that, but 2-2.
Fuck. I gotta predict a win, right? I don't have to do anything. I have free will. It'll probably be 1-1 Robert Sanchez. The deadest game.
You are on fire with these 1-1 and goalkeeper man of the match.
Well, again, I just think about who are we going to start in the back. Oh yeah, Robert will have to be good.
Yeah. Oh, I probably should have taken Chris Wood as my man of the match. He's back.
Dude, he does not score against us. Do you remember the last game of the season?
Oh, that's a
last
good
year?
point. He really doesn't score against. I'm good.
Man. Yeah.
And then the last game of the weekend or weekday is City versus Everton.
Where?
At the Hill Dickinson.
Oh, it's not good.
Oh, first time at the Hill Dickinson. That's
tough place to play.
We got popped there.
I'm gonna go 3-1 City.
I'm gonna go. I don't even know. This is tough. Who's your man of the match?
I'm working that out. I'm gonna go Holland.
Yeah,
he tends to bully the Everton center backs.
Yeah, that's a good matchup for him. Grant, you got anything in the chamber right now?
That 3-1 sounds lovely, but I don't want to tail another one, so I'll go 3-0 and Cherokee.
I'm gonna go 2-0 City. I think it's gonna be box standard, get 3 points, get out of there vibe. Gahey, man of the match. Hell yeah.
Wait, Mila, who did you say your man of the match was for United?
Cass.
Respect.
Big ups, the Unk. Cool.
A big game on the goodbye tour.
That's what he does.
This is what he does. And that's what we do. Linktree up there. Fuck. It's so good until the end.
Yeah,
damn it. I always forget we get to this hour part and I'm like, ugh. But Linktree is up there. Go and follow us on all of our socials. To the 463 of you currently subscribed, thank you very much. We appreciate all your support. If you want to tell us that you like our stuff or you want to tell us that we're idiots, please do it in the comments. We love to engage. Yeah, you guys got anything else?
Yeah, we love to engage and we like your stuff. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Check out Clash of Cosmos.
That's
probably going to talk about one of the players we talked about today.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about Mudryk today.
Dude, he doesn't exist.
I will film my own video when I get bored during the summer. Be like, he was going to be. No.
Yeah,
Can't get emotional right now.
We'll talk about a special somebody and how he has to be a Galaxy player this season or I'll cry. But that's it. For myself, Mila, and Grant, we have been Clash of Clubs. This has been episode 96, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
2 words for him. Different gravy. Glorious goal! Wreathed in red. We're really seeing the most extraordinary finish here. On this day of days, has he delivered? Just magnificent, potentially life-changing. That's football. Minute you let it under your skin, then you begin to make it better.